everyone, Jasper here from my cartoon. We're back to a new Simpsons review, and we are reviewing episode 4 of season 35, which came out today. And this is an interesting one, I can say. And it's another, documentary as well, which starts with Mr. Burns. And yeah, it's related to Mr. Burns, which it feels like forever since we've seen him. I'm sorry, but it feels like forever since we've properly seen him. I don't know why. It feels like forever. But yeah, I'm just doing, again, a documentary, which is 1 year later, or 1 year earlier, I should say. And this girl that is doing this lifeboat that business and things with these oats, which, yeah, just wants to have more cleaner water, pretty much. Wants to have more drinkable, cleaning water. And a documentary of the story of how she was when younger, and actually having a talk with Lisa. But, of course, Lisa not trying to get her to go to Mr. Burns, which, of course, she does. Which, of course, she says about a tragedy about her father, which we don't know if he died or what, because she said that he died, didn't give up, and didn't give up, okay. Because he was surrounded by water that wasn't drinkable. And this funny thing about Mr. Burns cutting down some forest because a squirrel looked at him funny. That was funny. And, yeah, she decided to go to Mr. Burns. And, of course, there's a storm happening outside, too. Which, obviously, when she's trying to get Mr. Burns to change this whole water situation for the better, of course, he denies. And good grief, yeah, they better get somewhere safe. Which, yeah, she's, of course, gonna keep trying to get Mr. Burns to help. But, of course, everything is not working. And back and forth and back and forth until eventually he decides to agree. And they talk about this cooling tower A, which apparently Lenny talks about of how it was Mr. Burns' favorite tower because of some favorite memories that holds. And yeah, we can see some of the memories that hold there. And apparently all the employees in Sector 7G will be fired. And Homer is, of course, not happy with it. But they'll be rehired to the new station. And he's like, bless you. And yeah, we even see McBain or Wolf as well. It's been a while since we've seen him, too. And, of course, Lisa just talking about these straws with the cups and these cleaners that they can use, and hers is bending. And, yeah, they're just having a good time here. Everything is all right. And, again, things seem to be going good, though, I can just say. About fresh cleaning water, drinkable water, and towels that you can just use and then just drop onto the floor. And yeah, things seem to go well for it. And of course Homer is breaking the wall, pretty much talking about looking at the screen, saying of what kind of documentary is this? It's like The Office or what? And when he opens the door, we see a wedding. Like Mr. Burns and the girl getting married when we see the Reverend Lovejoy, okay? And then we go to chapter 2, which, yeah, she still can't believe to actually say that she's married to Mr. Burns. And Mr. Burns just waking up in this machine. And, yeah, everything seems to be going good with their company, with them of a couple. And, hey, look, there's a Mario reference. And I just love that some of the flashes with the cameras you can see Mr. Burns' skull. And yeah, even Smithers is happy, I can just say. And man, Mr. Burns can slurp. He can slurp very loud. And yeah, they're all having this test, which of course they can't drink the water, okay? And something about getting it out of their bladders or stuff out, okay? And again, lots of other talks are going on too. And even something with Marge's groceries, which is pretty funny. And removing sticky notes and employees getting fired by the day, and a weird way to get the tattoos off. And even Professor Frank trying to dig into what this is, but of course, them just covering him. And yeah, Carl is just wondering what's the truth behind this, and even Lenny, which apparently, behind that moment, they removed Carl. Even his food started to get moldy. And yeah, of course, Lisa still believes in the girl, of course, even though she is married to Mr. Burns now. But of course, a lot of negativity responses come, and Mr. Burns is just furious with this. And while they're having a birthday party, apparently, Mr. Burns bought his wife all of Twitter, or, well, now it's called X, but, yeah, he said that he bought his new wife all of Twitter, the whole company. Like, how is that even possible? I mean, he is a billionaire, so I won't question him with that. And them having this discussion with a guy named Andrews, and obviously this silhouette is obviously Lenny, I can just say, talking about Carl, and the downfall with Lifeboat, and all these negativities. And, again, they're just wanting to get some questions out, then we see this thing with her just getting some of the water and feeding it to a giraffe. Or an elephant. Not an elephant, a giraffe. And then, of course, it's saying that this documentary series is now a Burns production. And, of course, them just continuing to talk about the whole lifeboat thing. And, yeah, we even get these band, which is pretty funny. I got a good chuckle out of that. And, yeah, this is, again, just an interesting episode, though. I love these documentaries. And, of course, the signs kept being changed. And, of course, we see these funny pictures, too, right here. And, of course, the silhouette that looks like Lenny actually reveals himself, saying that it doesn't work. But, of course, it's Homer, it is revealed. And, of course, they decide to send some lawyers to get back at Homer. And, yeah, a little love talk here. And, yeah, they're just trying to get Homer left, right, and center. And he's just... And he decides to tell Lisa of showing her something, which, yes, he takes some footage and sneaks in a lab, which apparently Carl didn't want all the world to know that he went to this concert, which is pretty funny. And, yeah, he figures out what was actually inside this lifeboat, or this water that people were drinking. And according to Professor Frank, it was a discontinued soda called Jab, and that, of course, Lifeboat then bought upon, and it has more sweet. It is sweet and has some salt in it, too. A lot of salt in it as well, which is very bad. It's very bad and very unhealthy. So, now it is up to Homer to get to Mr. Burns to tell him about the truth about his wife. And yeah, even all of the schools faucets in the documentary, or at the elementary school, is being changed with the new water. So Homer is trying to tell Mr. Burns about, just look in the love light in his eyes of his wife. And yeah, he then realizes, and of course, when he tries to stop the kids, we see them all melt. But yeah, that's not really what happened. The narrator says, no, that's not really what happened. Homer just turned off the faucet, and they just used that melting for the trailer. Because they wouldn't want to do any murder. So yeah, Mr. Burns trying to get his wife to come clean, and of course, she doesn't. And of course, even in the court, Mr. Burns is just so sad with this. And of course, the company is now bankrupt. And Of course, she's doing this chat, and Mr. Burns is hanging with her friends. While she's in jail. She's in jail. Which, yeah, Lisa even explains that the thing about her dad was not true. He did not die like she said it. He edits errors on different posts on text. And yeah, Mr. Burns is just all sad about with his wife. And the guys filming the documentary was so happy to meet him in person. And yeah, these burgers, which is kind of funny, I could just say. And Mr. Burns is saying that he will just bounce back. Which, yeah, he's just bouncing and while crying. Big baby. But again, I love this documentary. It was a real cool documentary. And yeah, that concludes this episode. Episode 4 was amazing, I can just say. And by the way, the next episode, which will be next Sunday, will be the Treehouse of Horror. Yup, next Sunday will be episode 5, and it will be the season 35's Treehouse of Horror, which I am so excited for. I am so excited for this season's Treehouse of Horror special. Could it beat last season's Treehouse of Horror? We just have to wait till next Sunday, November 5th, when episode 5 comes out. So yeah, I'd like to know what y'all think.